We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fair to say. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to Changeling. We are here talking to Spencer about the whole situation, or at least trying to tell him the whole situation before we overwhelm him, and then he's gonna think this is all fantasy dream. I guess that's what they were. Anyway, they saw me and swarmed around her like they were going to protect her, and then they came after me. I ran, but they were faster. He touched his eye. So they had been the ones that did that to him. Those jerks. Well, she's gone now. Gone where? I noticed that he didn't really question the existence of fairies. That probably said a lot about how much he'd seen and guessed. But back home, I guess, something happened on Halloween. We don't know what, but something broke the contract and forced her to return me to my original body and bring me back home. Your original body. Yeah, there was some soul swapping around. It was how she managed to convince everyone, well, almost everyone, that I was just a normal human girl, because she was hiding behind me the whole time. You thought they didn't take me because, in a way, they didn't. They just took my body. My voice is dying. Jesus, hello? And then Changeling stayed here, just waiting to cart my soul off to fairies, so they could stick me back in my body and use me for breeding stock, because that's what fairies do, because they suck. Why would they just return you if they went through all that trouble to swap your souls around in the first place? Because Fae are really particular about their contracts. When they set up rules, they follow them. He crossed his arms and looked at me. How do I know you're not just making this up because I found out your secret? I saw you in the woods that time. I saw you all those times you sneaked out. I guess you don't. I don't really have a way to prove I'm me. We were silent as I scooped the hot chocolate into the mugs and poured the hot water over them. I set the hot chocolate down in front of him before pulling up a chair on the other side of the table. They took the sight in my eye because they didn't want you to be able to see them anymore, didn't they? He nodded. Which eye is it? Is it this eye? I don't remember any of it. I don't remember anything that happened anytime she was in control, which I guess is what was going on both times I vanished. Sometimes when I sneak out at night, I managed to get control back. I would wake up and think I'd been sleepwalking. She got me out of the woods several times. I assumed she was aiming to run off to Fairy with me in the middle of the night. The things you saw me sprinkling in the doorway are some herb mixtures Allie gave me. They repel fairies, so I was using them to keep myself in the room at night. Allie did it? Remembering how my head was reeling after I'd first learned all this, I could definitely imagine how he felt right then. She's a witch, a literal one, that uses magic. And yes, you're basically right about the club. Weird things go on in there because all the members in it are, not quite normal. In fact, there's a whole community of paranormal and supernatural creatures that kind of runs around and right in plain sight. So that's the thing that happens. Are you really back to normal? I am. Sunday night, I just woke up in the backyard. I don't remember what happened, but we've kind of pieced together that someone else broke the contract for annoyingly complicated reasons. I'm me, more me than I've apparently been in a long time. Oh, but apparently I'm not a normal human anymore because I was in a freaking fairy for a decade, and the fairy magic turned me into a mutant or something. It's true. Spencer just sighed. He wasn't arguing, so that was a good sign, I suppose. I mean, I confirmed with several people. A couple of wizards, another ex-changeling, Phylos, the school librarian. What? Wizard, grumpy wizard, works in a magic library and in the school. Seriously? It's a thing. The little guy you see around the house is a brownie. They get attached to houses and just live there quietly, usually. But if you make them mad, they tend to prank you mercilessly as punishment. All that stuff about changelings is pretty unbelievable, right? But like the rest of it all makes total sense. I get it. None of it's believable, but I know that's real because I've seen enough to know it could be real. 5 years ago, right in front of me, you just faded back into Michiko like putting on a coke. That wasn't me, though. It was her. When we moved back here, everything started falling apart, and I started realizing something was wrong with me. All those times, I woke up outside at the house, outside at night, and being pulled into the club, which only happened because I saw Corvin's stupid magic book. Corvin Beltran, that guy. He's a wizard too. That's a little terrifying, right? What about everyone else in the club then? Well, Ewan is Faye. Ewan, that tall kid that rides the motorcycle. Yep, fairy. I know it's weird. Elliot's a vampire. It's true, so is Mark Louis. Louis? That really stuck up blonde? Somehow with him, I'm not surprised. He sighed, rubbing at his head. I laughed gently, glad that he seemed to be listening, and at least somewhat entertaining the possibility this was all true. I know the feeling, trust me. The first time they took me to the club room involved a fainting episode for me, so. What about Danny? He's also in the club, right? This morning his face. Werewolf? Your boyfriend is a werewolf? He's not my boyfriend, really. I guess it makes sense with what I saw this morning. Yeah, how do you remember what happened? I mean, they're supposed to sort of alter the memory about that. I saw him do it. Vilos, the librarian wizard guy. I mean, I think I did. He did something, and suddenly everyone calmed down. When they started talking about the fight again, it was like they'd forgotten what really happened. But it didn't work on you. Spencer shook his head. I don't know why it wouldn't. Is that why you decided to sit down and suddenly have a calm conversation about it? Well, that was... I sort of read that journal you've been writing. What? You didn't say anything about that? Well, I figured you'd get all huffy about it. Yeah. Look, I only read some of it, okay? I don't really remember that code very well. You told me you didn't remember it at all. Well, I lied, okay? Back then, I just didn't want to deal with any of that. You kept writing notes, trying to apologize. I couldn't deal with it back then. Fine, so you read my journal like the little sneak you are. And what? I mean, I didn't understand everything I was reading, and there were bits I couldn't read at all. I just got the feeling you were confused or something about what was happening. And then, well, I don't know. After Sunday, you just felt different. I can't explain it. I guess I just thought that with Mom and Dad gone, I should just ask. I was just tired of living without knowing what was going on. I looked at him over the top of my mug as I took a long drink. Can I assume you believe me? He was silent for a moment, staring down into his mug. I'm not sure that I buy everything, swap bodies and soul transfers. I'm not saying I buy that, but I believe some of it. We were silent for a long time. I sipped on my hot chocolate, wondering if there was a way to make him believe me. This is a lot. I know, and like I said, I don't have all the answers. I guess if you're still worried, you can try some of the tricks designed to force Changeling to leave and see if they work on me. Preferably the ones that don't involve killing me. Killing? Apparently a really good way to break a Changeling contract is by killing the Changeling. There are less violent methods, though. I really hope Sean and Derek did not kill that fairy to make her leave. Just the thought of it was worrying. There were times I thought it would be best if you were dead, or if I was dead. I thought it was the only way to end the nightmare I was in. I wish I'd known you were in a nightmare all this time. I thought you were just mad at me. I didn't know anything. Now it feels like I was in a nightmare all this time, too. I just didn't know it. I'm not sure I believe it yet, you know. I know, but at least this way, I don't have to hide things from you anymore. Spencer took a long sip from his hot chocolate. It's good. I was kind of enjoying just sitting here, just the two of us talk. Just the two of us. We hadn't done anything like that in so long. I feel like I need to go soak my head for a while. I know the feeling. I didn't want to spring all this on you so subtly, but I'm glad we talked. I've been wanting to talk to you about this for a while now. I'm glad you finally told me. Listen. Want to go for a walk? Get out, clear our heads a bit? I'm sorry for this. All of it, the fights, everything. I really want to go for the fighting. This whole time I just have been treating you like you're crazy, and that wasn't fair at all. I understand the reason. In the end, what room do I have to get angry? I haven't treated you all that great either. Well, you had your reasons. He took a deep breath and let out slowly. Do you mind if I just go sit out front for a bit? I think I need to absorb all this. It's not that I don't believe at least some of it. It's just a lot. No, I understand. Go ahead. I'll clean up in here. Spencer stood, frowning heavily. Why do you think Mom and Dad never mentioned me going missing that time? I thought it was a dream, but you remember it too. But they never had said anything about it. It seems like my memories of that event were sealed up. Yours probably were too. I mean, this is just a theory, but maybe the seal in your memories broke down over time, or started to, and that's why you remember those events as a dream. But to Mom and Dad, maybe it seemed like we'd forgotten it entirely. So maybe they thought it was best to just not say anything about it. We can always ask them when they get back. No, I mean, we can't tell them any of this. They wouldn't believe us anyway, and how would we explain why we were suddenly bringing that up? It would just worry them. You're probably right. What's going to happen now that you told me everything? Do I have to join that club? I don't know. I think Allie's going to try to talk to you soon anyway. I guess now we'll just have to talk to Violet to see what happens next. I still haven't entirely worked out where you fit into everything. Spencer nodded. I'm sorry. I know it's a lot to take in. Spencer just shrugged. It's been a lot. For a long time. This isn't worse than anything else that's happened. I guess that's true. I'll be outside for a while. He shoved his hand in his pocket and disappeared into the foyer. It didn't seem like things were going to just magically improve, but he seemed better. At the very least, the air between us was clear now. No more secrets. That made me happy at any rate. I picked up our empty mugs and went to rinse them out, dry them, and put them away. Oh, hi, Brownie. Hold on, my throat's hurting. I was in the middle of wiping them out when the brownie tumbled downstairs chattering angrily. What do you want? It glared at me, its voice rising in pitch. Yeah, I can't understand you, sorry. My phone chimed and I went to go check it, keeping an eye on the brownie, which had started to run around in circles. Come outside. Okay? What the heck? I left my phone on the counter, shot the frantic brownie a last look, and patted to the front. I slipped on a pair of flats by the door and stepped onto the porch. Spencer? What? Why my boy Spencer crying? He was whoa. He was at the end of the driveway with Liam standing behind him, holding him tightly. He looked terrified. Blood was dripping down one arm. Wait! I didn't even know what to do. Miss Melly, glad you could join us. Why don't you step off the porch and come this way? It seems you have a barrier around your house that's making it a little difficult for us to pick you up today. I didn't even know what to do. I was trying to work out a way to get Spencer and I out of this, but they had him, and I stepped off the porch biting my lip. Michiko, stay away. Wait, are you hurt? Are you okay? Spencer, he had already been through so much because of me. Too much. His eye, years of stress and fear. I couldn't let anything else happen to him. I stopped just inside the barrier alley created, which I could still faintly see. Let him go and I'll go with you. Michiko, don't. Spencer, shut it. How can I believe you? Do I look like I'm lying? I took a deep breath and stepped through the shield. Walking close enough, I was just out of arm's reach. Let him go. Liam narrowed his eyes and shoved Spencer in the dirt. He grabbed my arm and pulled me away. No! Spencer jumped to his feet, but the two wolves behind Liam snarled at him as Liam tossed me in the car. Helpless Spencer watched, still clutching his injured arm. I'll be fine. Spencer, don't worry about me, okay? I'll be fine. Then the wolves hopped in after me. Liam slammed the door and we were driving off down the street. I thought Spencer was the backyard, not the front. I craned my neck back and saw Spencer still watching us as we disappeared around the corner. Somewhere along the drive to wherever we were going, the two wolves beside me transformed. He has Allie's number, so I'm sure he's gonna reach out to Allie and tell her what the hell just happened. That's my guess. Somewhere along the drive? Okay, we already read that. I had never actually witnessed a werewolf transformation before. It was not pleasant. The sounds of flesh just changing, of bones shrinking and restructuring, honestly it made me queasy. Not to mention that watching it was nauseating as well. I just squeezed my eyes shut until the sounds were over. And then I was in a strange car, sandwiched between two completely naked men, who seemed completely cool with the idea, weirdly. At that point, I was just keeping my eyes closed to avoid seeing anything that might scar me for life. I was relieved when they started dressing. Wasn't too thrilled by the elbow to the face. He didn't even apologize. Thank you very much. Seriously, I had known actual dogs with better manners. It's pretty hard to gauge your time when you're sitting in a car with your eyes closed, but I'd say we drove for at least 15 minutes before we turned onto a gravel road that led off into the trees. I opened my eyes and watched with growing dismay as Liam drove us into the middle of nowhere. I sort of vaguely knew where we were probably going. An old mining settlement. A sort of ghost town, falling to the ruin in the woods. I've been there before. There were a couple of overgrown roads leading up to it, but from this direction, we had to stop some distance away to walk the rest of the way. Where the hell are you taking me? When I thought about it logically, Slaughter was probably the perfect place for all sorts of illicit paranormal shenanigans. Not only was it isolated, but there were already plenty of weird rumors about it. But the fact that they didn't mind me seeing where we were going worried me. I just had to wait until the right moment. I could fire off that barrier that Allie showed me and make a break for it. I highly doubted I could run faster than the werewolves, but I had to try. I hope Spencer is able to call someone, and I hope they find us. One of the guys gave me a little shove to hurry me up. I shot him a glare, but he didn't even notice. Not yet. Not yet. I resisted the urge to struggle. I didn't want them to be on guard when I did decide to fight back. If they thought I wouldn't resist, then maybe I could take them by surprise. I was sure it was just a fool's hope, but I wasn't going to give up without some kind of fight. I just had to wait for the right moment. They dragged me into the building and tossed me to the ground. I felt a strange sense of deja vu. I glanced around and... oh my god! Who was there? Sean? Motherfucker! I hissed his name and the slumped over form next to me stirred. Sean looked up at me. What the fuck are you doing here? He looked awful. If he was anything to go by, I was lucky to have arrived unbloodied. He'd definitely been kicked around a bit. His hands were secured as well. He gave me a tired grin. Hey, little red. I wouldn't tell them where you lived. I wouldn't tell them where you live, but it looked like they found you anyway. Sorry about that. Wait, what? You were trying to protect me? Don't apologize. Just tell me what's going on. Looks like Liam is the one who's been cleaning up the stray wurs in the area, and I'm next on the list. Don't know why you're here. Probably do with Dan. Oh shit, they're actual killing us. Well then, I'm not gonna do that until the next episode, alright? Anyway, this is where we're gonna stop, because your girl's throat is literally dying, and I have another series to do. For at least to record for the week. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
혼자 주저앉아 생각만 커져가 언제부터